welcome back to another QC makeup video. Today we're going to do one of my most favorite things in the world, which is drag makeup. I realize that I am a girl and a drag queen is by definition a man who is performing as a woman. So we're just going to use all the same techniques that drag queens use, the same kind of products. We're just going to put it on my face instead of the guy's face. There's a couple of different ways to do a bunch of different things in drag, because drag is a really diverse art form. There's a lot of people that do variations on eyeliner, variations on color. Drag is a whole realm of possibilities that you can basically do whatever you want. So we're just going to do a basic neutral look, kind of like one of my favorite performers, Raven, just because she has such a dramatic eye and such a dramatic lip, which I think in drag is important to be very dramatic. And so we're going to zoom in a little bit, and the first thing we're going to do is cover our eyebrows. Not all queens cover their eyebrows, you don't have to, but some, because they're men, have very thick, bushy eyebrows that will not be convincing as a woman. So they glue them down, they cover them up, and they redraw them over top so that you can get kind of different proportions and making your eyes look different. There's a bunch of different methods to do this. One of the most popular ways, which I use, because it's cheap, well, it's inexpensive, is glue sticks. You can use a regular craft glue, or you can use what a lot of queens use is purple, because when you put it on, you're putting on your layers, the purple dries clear, so you know when it's dry because it's not purple anymore. There's another couple of methods. I know one of my favorite queens uses Prozaid, which is like a really good adhesive for like prosthetics, and that scares me a little bit. Like, I'm sure her eyebrows look fine as a boy, so I'm sure they don't destroy them, but that just scares me a little bit. I like glue because I can just go in the shower and just wash it off with soap and water. If you really want to get dramatic, like if there's no way that your eyebrows are going to get glued down, some people use pieces of bald cap, and then you just go around your eyebrow and glue it down, and then it's completely, you blend out the edges, and then it's just a new surface. So I'm basically trying to get it covered down to a skin level, and you don't have to worry if you're a little bit, if you glue down your eyebrows and you can still see them a little bit. You're not going to get it on your first try. Like, take it a couple of times and eventually you'll get it to where it doesn't have to be completely look like skin, because usually what you're going to do is exaggerate your crease line a little bit, and it might even go over top your eyebrow, and then when you blend it out, it's going to blend into your makeup anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You're going to need your glue stick and a little spoolie to kind of get the glue right in there. Okay, so we're using my purple glue stick. We're actually going to go backwards through the brow. I'm just going to do it on one brow because you just repeat it on the other one. You're going to go get right in there with your glue and really just, and take your spoolie immediately and kind of just get it right in there. So you want to coat all aspects of the hair because you want it to lay flat. So you kind of just get right in there. Some queens brush their brows up. I tried it a couple times. I don't mind it. I just like to glue mine in the direction that they're going. It's just a preference. Okay, and then you're just going to immediately put a little more on there. Make sure you go onto the skin a little bit around the eyebrow because you want it to blend. So once that layer is dry, we're just going to put another layer. Usually that kind of, when you feel it, you can feel that it's smooth, and if there's little bumps, you might have to go back and try it again. If your eyebrows are really, 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 really thick, which mine aren't right now because I just plucked them, some queens like to get a little bit on their palette knife, a little bit of the glue, just so you have a little bit on the edge there. And just, it's almost like crack filling. Like if for some reason you messed up and there's little crevices where your hairs didn't line up, this kind of fills that in, and then when that dries we can start our layers of concealer and powder. I'm just using my MAC Studio Finish Concealer because I like it. And then I'm just using, I don't like to use my good powder because it's just for covering my brows. It's not really on top of my face, so I'm just using my little like drugstore. It's so old that the brand is gone. It's just my skin's color powder. Some people put on their concealer with like a brush. I don't like how it kind of creates lines, and I just don't like it. So I use my little spongy sponge. I'm just gonna take my little tiny fluffy brush. We're gonna powder that layer and go again. So that's all nice and powdered. I'm going to zoom back out and we're going to move on to absolutely everything else. We're going to do a version of one of my favorite drag queens, Raven. So we're just going to do a cut crease higher than it's normally supposed to be, a lot of big eyeliner, overdrawn lips. That's a big thing in drag, but again, it's not every drag queen doesn't do it. It's dependent upon the character that they want to create. Normally you put concealer on to hide all your little, the foundation that you use is usually so thick and pancakey that it will cover anything anyway. I'm going to be using Pan Stick today, but I usually use Kryolan TV Paint Stick in really, really light 1W, and it's just really thick pancakey makeup and you just dab it all over. I like to put on my drag foundation with this little brush, this little guy, just because I can blot it over and not dislodge the gluing down of the eyebrows that I've already done. So once that's on, so now you've got your base. Depending on, again, what kind of look you're going for, I always go for really dramatic, so I do all my foundation and contour in creams. You can do it in powders, or you can do your foundation base in a cream, set it, and then do your highlight and your everything in powder if you want kind of like a subtler look, but I don't do subtle. I do crazy dark contour. So I'm using a different brand. It's the same kind of product though, Cream Marron. It's just really, really dark brown. I'm going to do contour on right up here because usually you're putting on a wig when you're going in drag, so this helps it blend into the hairline that you're going to put the lace on top of, so it doesn't just bluntly look like your hair is starting. Then we're going to do cheekbones, very important. You can do your jawline if you want. If you have a really square jaw and you want to cut it off and then just blend it into your neck, that's cool too. And then we're going to do the nose. So I'm going to do all those. I'm going to come back. So I'm using my concealer brush from Sephora because it's made for wet products. So I'm going to use that for my nose contour because with that big of a brush you don't want to go into your nose like that. The point of nose contour is to make your nose look smaller, which is you're going for like a more feminine look, so like girls have smaller, daintier noses. A lot of queens use the powder with the puff. Don't have that, so I just take my big old fluffy brush, kind of translucent, not translucent, it's got a bit of color to it because I like it to blend in a little more. Once that's set, some people like to punch up their contour and their highlight with powders, and I like to do that at the end because then it's nice and fresh right when you're going out, whereas when you're putting your makeup on it might just kind of dull out. I'm going to take my MAC paint pot, which is going to serve as kind of like a base for the eye. So I've cleaned that brush that I used for the concealer and I'm just going to put that in my paint pot. And that is going to go everywhere that you anticipate eyeshadow happening, which kind of goes pretty far up. I would go like all the way like into your brow, just in case you want to put some there, which usually happens. So then we're going to do our eyeliner, which I like to do eyeliner first because it kind of establishes a base for the eye that you're going to do. It determines like where your crease is going to start and all that fun stuff. Some girls like to draw on their eyebrows first, so you kind of have an idea of how much space you have left. But I like to draw on my crazy eye first and then put my eyebrows on because I'm more concerned about what I want the actual eye makeup to look like. We're going to do a fairly thick, heavy winged eyeliner, and I'm going to do that with a gel liner so that it doesn't like to imprint on my eye like cake liner does. So we're just going to draw that in with our black track and then we'll be back. So in the spirit of drag makeup being whatever you want it to be. I think I'm going to go for like a purple. So for our dark color, which we're going to trace our crease in, we're going to redraw our crease line. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Electric palette, and we're going to use Urban, which is like a dark purple. It's real nice. So once that line's kind of established, you're going to take your next color, which is usually like a similar color palette, like still purple, but just lighter. And we're just going to blend that out. I'm going to keep blending up, and I'm going to do a very light purple. For my top color, blending out, I'm going to use Frostine from my Sugar Pill Sparkle Baby palette, which is just a nice, very, very light purple. I'm just using my white powder. I'm just going to put that down as a base on my eyelid first. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with my fluid line. We're going to do a bit of a lower lash line. And then to make it look like your eye is a little bit more open, I'm going to take a really tiny brush with the white and just go right. I'm going to take my, it's just NYX, it's like black, primal black. So you can use any kind of black, blending brush, and we're just going to go underneath where that new lash line is and kind of blend it out just a bit. Now that we've done kind of a basic eye, which you can add anything you want to it, this is kind of just a cut crease and a bit of eyeliner. Now we're going to do the eyebrow. There's infinite ways to do your eyebrows. You could do it in color, you could do it with rhinestones, you can basically do it with anything. I'm going to do it in just a brown. And then the space that we've left between the brow and the wherever your actual color stops, we're going to put a highlight, which you can do with like a shimmer, or I just use my flat white, like just my white. And that not only kind of brightens up your eye a little bit and kind of pulls out the brow bone. I basically got your eye area finished. This is where it gets kind of like, you decide. Now you have to do lashes and lips, and depending on which one you have more trouble with or you don't like having on your face. Like some people find eyelashes to be the most annoying thing in the world. I don't mind them, so I put them on first because I like to talk. So if I put my lip on first, I feel like I'm gonna and it's just gonna get all gross and gummy and So I'm gonna do my lashes first. So these are the ones that I'm using. They're called 301s. They are ridiculous and awesome. A lot of queens like to do this, and I think it's cute. It's a little, once you're done all your face stuff, it's just a little beauty mark wherever you want it to go. Some are in shapes of hearts. Lashes I like to place on the inner corner and then tilt them up a little bit at the end just so that they flare out a bit. Because otherwise they kind of, just because they're so large, they kind of droop and then it's just sad. For our lip, we're going to start doing it just because, why not? I'm going to overdraw my lip a lot because I like a big lip, big dramatic lip. So we're going to start, I like to start at the peaks because you kind of decide what you want it to look like. You can do like really sharp ones if you want to be intense, or like one line. I like the classic little like sweetheart humps. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start right, since our lip ends, I'm going to start right in the middle. I'm going to fill it in with my other very pale liner, and then we're going to blend them. Okay, so then we've got our lip down, and then we're going to mascara. You're going to take your favorite setting spray. I use Urban Decay. I'm not going to spray this on my face because I'm taking this off, but you're going to do across, across, let it set for a minute, across, across, and then hopefully your face will stay on for most of the night. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that you can create some of your own drag looks for basically whatever you want to do on your face. And I'll see you next time. Bye. I forgot to give tips for removing it when you're done. I just use baby wipes mostly, and that usually gets a solid amount of it off. But for the eye makeup, just use oil-free makeup remover. And it just wipes right off. Most of the glue comes off as well from your eyebrows, but I would shower with soap and water to get it off all the way. But that's it. Good luck de-dragging and getting all of your makeup off. Make sure you do though, because there's a lot of it.